Hello, my name is Gaurav. I'm the founder of Farfaraway. It's a website based in Vedic astrology. I'm very sure you've come across the term Vedic astrology and you're familiar with the signs. They're popularly discussed in newspapers: Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer, Libra, etc. But how do you begin? That's the purpose of this video. You begin by identifying the sign in the first house. I'm taking this example. I'll reveal the identity of this person at the end. In his case, you find the first house in the fourth sign. The number there represents the rising sign. It's also known as the ascendant. That's how you start. By doing so, you assign a role to different planets. What do I mean by that? If you're trying to assess this person's personality, you have to study the ruler of the first house, which would be the ruler of the sign of Cancer, which is Moon. If you'd like to determine which career this person might be in, then you have to study the ruler of the 10th, the 6th and the 11th house. So if the first house falls in the sign of Cancer, the 10th house falls in the first sign, the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars. The 6th house will fall in the sign of Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. The 11th house, the house of money, will fall in the sign of Taurus, ruled by Venus. So to determine this person's career, you only have to study the position of Mars, Jupiter and Venus. So you narrow down your analysis. You're not looking at the entire chart. That might help you begin. If you're trying to determine who might be this person's partner, then you have to study the ruler of the house of marriage, the 7th house. So if the first house falls in the sign of Cancer, the 7th house naturally falls in the 10th sign, ruled by Saturn. So Saturn's position in his chart would determine who his partner is going to be. In this table, now, I have done this exercise for you. You don't have to do it. You don't have to identify signs and their rulers. So if you are a Sagittarius ascendant and you're trying to identify which career is best for you, so you only have to study the positions of Mercury and Venus. If you are a Libra ascendant and you want to know more about your partner, you only have to study the position of Mars. So it narrows down your analysis. So you don't have to do this exercise. I've done this for you in this table. What you can do at this stage is extend your analysis. If you'd like to understand your personality more minutely, you can also take into account the position of Sun and Moon, also take into account your rising Nakshatra and the Atmakaraka, the planet holding the highest degree. In your career identification analysis, please take into account the position of Sun. Whilst analyzing who your partner might be, please take into account the Darakaraka too, the planet holding the lowest degree in your chart outside of Rahu and Ketu. So how do we apply this knowledge? Let's try to identify the career for this person. From a career point of view, we have to study the position of Mars, Jupiter and Venus. So Mars is in the 3rd, in the sign of Virgo, and more importantly, in the constellation of Chitra. You'll find the meaning of Mars in the 3rd in the sign of Virgo, and you'll find the meaning of Mars in the constellation of Chitra on the YouTube channel. If you combine it, you'll come to the conclusion that this person can be an entrepreneur and can be an innovator. If you study the position of Jupiter in his chart in the 8th house in the constellation of Shatabisha, you'd find his work to be highly research-driven, technology-driven, and can be linked to the field of networking, as that's directly linked to the constellation of Shatabisha. This is where your knowledge of the Nakshatra becomes very critical. And if we study the position of Venus, its position in the 12th in Nakshatra signifies somehow his work to be linked to mass media and also somehow creative in nature. Sun is in the 1st in the constellation of Punarvasu, which indicates somehow his work to be directly linked to the hospitality industry. This is the birth chart of Richard Branson. He's an entrepreneur. He had his first business as Virgin Records that is directly linked to the position of Venus in Nakshatra. Jupiter in the 8th in Shatabisha, his mainstream business now is the broadband network service. And Sun in Punarvasu, in my view, is behind his interest in the hospitality sector. And probably the most renowned business he owns is Virgin Airlines. If we try to assess his personality, his rising constellation, rising Nakshatra is Ashlesha, and Moon is in the constellation of Magha. If you combine the two, you'll know why he possesses this magnetic personality. And in many ways, I think the ancestors which are ruling the constellation of Magha are helping him achieve success on a material plane. Let me again now take you back to this table. Please identify your rising sign. That's how you begin. It's also known as the ascendant, don't get confused. And once you've done that, you can start analyzing who you are, what the chart is saying who you are, which career is best suited for you, and who your life partner can be. There are several videos I've posted on this channel which describe how to read the chart in more detail. If you combine the information on the website and the YouTube channel, I think you can conduct a very comprehensive analysis of your birth chart by yourself. I hope this video was useful. If you'd like to stay in touch, please subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.